Welcome to Pine Tribe's video interview. I'm Callie, Pine's editor and translator, and today we're interviewing Thomas Flindt, Denmark's laughter guru. Thomas has been laughing for a living for 10 years and has written the book Happy Lemons, How Happiness Breeds Success. And we also have Martin Bjergård, author of Winning Without Losing and co-founder of Pine Tribe. So welcome, guys.
Thanks, Kelly. And just allow me to start with this small fact about Scandinavia, as we always do in these interviews. This time it will actually only be about Denmark, because this is one of the things where you can't just say that Scandinavia is one thing. There's actually a big difference between Denmark, Sweden and Norway when it comes to this topic, and that is the topic of lunch at the workplace. Mm-hmm. So in Denmark, it's very normal that the company will pay for the lunch for the employees. And we know this, we have inside perspectives on this because we own a business that is serving 9,000 lunches every day to Danish workplaces. So it really is normal that the company pays the lunch here, which is very different from a lot of other countries. And people are always amazed when they see this buffet and they ask, how is this organized? And we can tell it's actually the companies organizing and buying and paying for this service for the employees. So that's a small insight on Danish culture.
Yeah, and what a great lunch it is as well.
I feel hungry already.
Well, Thomas, I'd love to hear what is your great message to the world?
My message is to be grateful for what you have. And, many studies have shown that Denmark is is the happiest place in the earth, or we have the happiest people. And this study actually shows it's because we are grateful for what we have. So if you're grateful for what you have, you can be happy. So it's just to recognize there's so much good things in your life right now that you can celebrate. And laughter is a way of celebrating life.
Yes.
So being grateful and laughing is like celebrating life. And so that's my message. Start every day with being grateful for something that's already in your life.
Yeah, definitely. And Thomas, this is very interesting, and I've really been thinking about how did you get to laugh for a living? I mean, what brought you there?
Well, it started with the discovery of not being very happy.
Okay.
So I found like 10, 12 years ago that I wasn't really happy. So I started reading books about happiness and feeling good, and change starting to happen. But the biggest change was probably when I entered a laughter club 11 years ago, and I was laughing for no reason with a group of people for 45 minutes, and I just feel this deep connection with myself and this group of people. And after the laughter session, I couldn't think one bad thought about anyone. And sometimes when you enter a room and there's a lot of new people, you have a tendency to just judge a little. Oh, she's probably like that, he's like that.
Absolutely.
And after laughing with these people, I was just felt so deeply connected, like family, friends, and it was the fastest thing. At that point, I've been reading a lot of books, but just 30-40 minutes of laughing, it just was the fastest way to connect I ever experienced. So I was just that moment I decided I'm going to do this for a living, and I almost did ever since.
Great. And so how does a laughter coach, what does a laughter coach do?
Well, he inspires people to see all the benefits of laughter.
Okay.
So when you laugh, you let go of tension and stress and also worry. But if you have a very worried mind, it's hard to laugh because you always think about what's gonna go wrong next. Mm-hmm. So that's probably the typical worry. And like 95% of our worries never happens. So it's just like a bad illusion that something will go wrong. So it's kind of a surrendering to the moment and just seeing what is good in your life right now. See what works now. That's what I say. Start every day with being grateful because something is great now.
Yeah.
But if you spend your energy on what will go wrong, of course it's hard to laugh.
And we actually tried your laughing exercises and one of your seminars in the Pine team, and Kelly, you were there as well, and I really remember you were laughing and you laughed because I think you were really good at getting into it. There was a little while where I felt it was awkward and it was really difficult for me to start laughing genuinely.
Yes.
And then at a moment I saw Kelly's face, all red and almost about to explode.
Like a tomato, yes.
And then I actually, from there on, I actually started laughing for real.
See, that's it. Sometimes we think we can't do it, but then we see someone, and we just, it's like a mirror. It's like, and that's probably, this is a thing that I work with the groups is just to allow yourself to get contagious by someone else's laughter. So every emotion is contagious. If someone shows up at work in a real bad mood, you feel it, and you might even get to a bad mood yourself. So this allowing yourself to just see Kelly laughing and just feel that it's.
And this makes me think of something you told me, Thomas, and you told me that in a small group setting. So I don't know if you're comfortable talking about it here in the interview, but I do remember that now. Also, you're talking about something being contagious. That there was actually once a woman that got an orgasm at one of your seminars. Isn't that right?
That's true. That was in a private group. Yes, probably 5-6 years ago when I have my laughter clubs. The last 5 years I've just been doing companies. So this is people that kind of know each other, and sometimes new people attend this group. And one day this I think she's a very spiritual woman, and she's very free. And she, first we have the standing exercise, then we sit, and then at last we lay down. Not always in the companies, but in the laughter clubs we do that. And so when you lay down, you just connect on a different level because you just let go of, you don't look at, you just hear laughter. And she, wow. I wasn't expecting this question, but she really started to having an orgasm, and there was no doubt. It was just. I mean, Martin, I don't know if you ever heard a woman having an orgasm.
No comment.
See, but
we're doing the interview here.
I've been so fortunate that I heard that before, and she was just like all the ooh and and the craziest thing. What happens, because we're laying down on the floor, and it was probably about 15 women and me, so I'm just a lucky man. Other women starting to having orgasm just from hearing her. That was crazy.
Contagious orgasm.
Contagious orgasm. And I wasn't expecting this interview going this way, but since you asked, true story, and so yeah, that's kind of amazing what laughter can do.
But Thomas,
and it also, let me just finish this because this is very important. It also tells how bodily laughter is. So if you're so much in your mind, and that's what happens for many people in the Western world, we're so much in the mind, and laughter is like it's the whole body, filling up with oxygen, and it builds up from your stomach. But if you're up here and disconnected from here down, it's really hard to laugh. So it's kind of a surrendering to the body.
Mm.
Yeah, but and exactly, it's a great feeling when you do it. But before, when you're in these new settings, you feel like you're letting your guard down, and you feel like people are going to think I'm so stupid or I'm nervous. So Why are we so reluctant to just give in and just laugh and just let go? And what do you think?
Yeah, there's a fear of being seen as unserious. So in our work life, we think it's so important to be seen as serious. And actually, my work has shown that people who have more fun at work, they're more productive, less stressed, and they even have better sales. So that's that story about you have to be serious to get things. Of course, you have to be serious, but if you're only serious, I don't believe you're creative or fun to be with, or opening up for new ideas. So when we're having fun, we open up to being creative and playful, and as well connecting to people.
And do you think the most workplaces sort of are tolerant or about coming in and laughing, or do you think many places it might be seen as a bit inappropriate?
I think it's just a story we got in our heads. I don't believe it's true. I think that we're just told as we're growing up in school and university, we're just told so many times, stop laughing. So we're really quick to stop laughing. We have so much control over that. But when you know that laughter truly releases tension, stress, and pain, and strengthens your immune system, you should never stop laughing. So, but we get this plugged into us when we grow up and go to school. Don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh, and this is really, doctors have found that this is the best medicine. So you should laugh. So this is what I teach companies: is when this appears in any situation, as long as you don't point fingers and laugh at other people, you should just allow it, because this is cleaning your body. This is like the best medicine. You cannot create a pill that's so healthy like 5 minutes of daily laughter.
No.
So why stop it?
Yeah.
Right.
So I guess what I do is I go out and I allow the companies to let go, to free their laughter.
Yeah.
And what was really an epiphany for me when we were doing this seminar with you, Thomas, was that you don't need to laugh at something funny. It doesn't need to be funny because you weren't telling jokes or anything. You just asked us to laugh, and immediately, you can't really do that. But you took the lead and you got us to laugh. And then from being artificial and forced in the beginning, it gradually became more natural and at the end actually just hilarious. But you never told a joke or anything. You never told anything funny, which was kind of surprising to me.
Yeah.
And you see, when we grow up as children, we can laugh for no reason at all. But when we become older, because everything becomes so much mind, we have to have a reason. So if you, I know you have children, Martin, and I know, Kelly, you've probably once seen some children, and they can laugh for no reason. They can just laugh, but we need a reason, and that's also something that I teach: the difference between the mind and the body. And the body is so intelligent, and we think it's only the mind. And that's why, we don't get all the benefits of the intelligent body if we don't allow it. So, and that's what I said before, don't stop your laughter. It's the best medicine. It's just relief from tension and stress and worry and fear as well.
And now you mentioned that it gives us energy and motivates us and releases this creativity. But where is sort of the balance between seriousness and fun in a workplace setting, for example?
That's a good question, and you have to have those. See, if you only have seriousness, if you only have ridiculous, what should we call it? Fun. It's too much. So you have to, but you see, they have to balance. So that's what I say. It's good to be serious, but if you're only serious, you'll get a heavy life. It's good to have fun, but if it's only fun, that won't work either. So being playful and funny and laughing, it's balancing your serious side, and you need to do that, because I bet you when you're 90 years old, no one will say, I should have been, even more serious if you just have a serious life.
Yeah, you won't regret that you have been laughing a lot.
No, no, true.
I'm wondering, Thomas. In my experience, I'm completely convinced that you're right, and it's easy to use your advice when I'm feeling average or good. Then it's quite easy. But when I have some days where I don't feel great, I know that that's actually the time where I really should be laughing, where it could really benefit me. But at the same time, I find it so difficult while in a bad mood, having a bad day, to actually pull myself together and start laughing. Do you experience that as well, or are you kind of beyond that?
All I do is about being authentic. So if you feel bad, you should just feel bad, and go to the root of bad. Don't deny it, So if there's something you got to release through, maybe having this tough argument with someone, or you just have to do that first, because laughter is it will always show up when you're free of what puts pressure on you. So you cannot deny, if you have a hard time crying, it might be hard to laugh too. So it's just to be authentic. I often use this example with children. They have, authentic relation with their tears, their anger, and their laughter, because they're all releasing. So of course you cannot laugh at you have to be authentic. So if someone is really bothering you, you just have to tell in the best way you can tell it. So if you're sad, you need to be sad.
Okay, yeah. So you can't conquer sadness with laughter directly, as I hear you.
Not if there's something you need to address. It's not. You cannot put laughter just on top of everything. Then it wouldn't. That would be lying to yourself.
Okay.
So if you're sad, you need to be sad. And truly, this is important. That's why most people probably not laughing that much, is because there's something they need to address, something they might be angry about, or something they might be sad about. And if you're sad, or if you have anger in you, that will lay on top of the laughter. And when you release that, so much laughter will come up. But if you need to be sad, or if you need to be angry, you have to release that. Of course, I would say with anger, you should be aware of it's not 25 years of anger you address to the someone when you go shopping, or you just have to be aware of anger. But still, if you're authentic, you can just tell it plain. You can almost whisper it, and people understand. Okay, there's the boundary there. But you have to be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Thomas, these things like being honest to yourself and figuring out, when to release it and stuff, are these things that the reader might find in your book, Happy Lemons? Or could you tell us a bit about the book?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think on that particular question, well, there's a lot of things in the book, of course, but there's an exercise with your most important values. And I think that sometimes we lose ourselves when we compromise what's on the things that most important to us. I think you should be able to compromise on lots of stuff, but you are allowed to have few things that's your core values that you probably never should, compromise on, so you don't lose yourself. So it's a book about, being yourself. And it's really hard to laugh if you're not yourself. I mean, then you're not really here. Then you're always, looking for yourself somewhere else. And laughing is just so much present moment.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a lot about the present moment and how you daily, learn how to check into the moment. You cannot laugh if you left this moment. If you constantly are in the next moment. So laughing is, like I said, it's like breathing. You can only breathe now. You can only laugh now. But the mind can leave the moment. And somehow the body leaves as well. So, but if you're really, really present, you can feel your breathing. And wow, you can look around and say, wow, this is a great moment. Hey, I can enjoy this. But if you're not really here, if you're checked out, because it's always more exciting tomorrow or a week from now or a year from now, it's hard to be happy now. So you can only laugh in the present moment.
And how do you, I absolutely can recognize this feeling, I have to do this. And then once I do this, then I can be happy. And then as soon as I've got this apartment, then I can move in there, then I'll be happy. But what would you recommend? What tools should a person use to be, or to remind themselves to be in the present moment and to laugh now, here?
Every morning, this is an exercise I really enjoy doing. When you wake up in the morning and you're awake, you just haven't opened your eyes yet. You just lay there with your eyes closed. I always pull in pictures of things that I'm grateful for. And if you're listening to this, you can write down maybe 5 things you're grateful for. Mm-hmm. Maybe you have a place to live. Wow, that's great. Maybe you have food in your refrigerator. Wow, you're not going hungry today. Maybe you have friends. Wow. Maybe you might even have a husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend. Congratulations. Maybe you have children, whatever. And just write that down. And in the morning when you wake up, just see those pictures before you and just say, thank you. Thank you.
So a mental note of the things you're grateful for.
That's what lifts me every morning is because I'm grateful for my life.
Yeah. That's
and that's very present. It's very present to have a place to live. If you woke up on the street this morning, it'll probably not be that great.
No.
But if you woke up, if you're that fortunate, you woke up in a warm bed this morning. Wow, that's something to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Yes. And do you think some people this is something you can train? Some people are really good at being happy and laughing more than others, and others aren't. Do you think it's just because people are better at recognizing that they're grateful for things? Or why do you think some people laugh more than others?
To prolong what we're talking about.
Exactly.
So this is like a shift. It's just like a coin. You can say, on this side is all the things I'm grateful for. On this side, all the things that I, don't like. So what's your focus?
Okay.
So it's actually just like flipping a coin.
So you think some people choose to focus more on one side of the coin than other?
Sure. I'm everyone who's listening to this today, right now, can find 5 things that they're grateful for. And everyone can find 5 things that they hate. But my question is, what is your focus?
Yeah, great stuff.
And it's much more easy to build up yourself with things you're grateful for. Yeah. If you start the morning with focus on things you don't like, things you fear or worry about, wow, it's like you're almost below good energy. But if you start out with things you're grateful for, you just already have energy. Yeah. Because you have a good life.
Yeah. Yeah, this is actually this is great timing for me to hear that, because I've had a couple of days, admittedly, where I've been focusing on too many negative things. So it's a great wake up call on that. You wrote an article for pinetribe.com recently,
yes,
where you wrote about crying and anger as the brother and sister of happiness, and you also just talked about
Yes.
crying and those emotions before. I was a little bit provoked by your article, I must admit, because I recently had an experience. It was in the London Underground, where I was sitting after a day of meetings and going somewhere, and then there was this woman 2 seats on my right, and she was talking on the phone, and she was crying at the same time.
Ah.
And it kind of hit something in me, right? And it was very unpleasant for me to be there. And I was just wondering, should I move to the other part of the train? Would that be rude towards her? Why was she crying like that? And something in a voice in me said that, you know, she's making a big fuss out of something, and she just kind of cried for attention, and it provoked me. It didn't, in a way, seem fair that she should claim that much of the space in that situation. And there was just something about the way she cried and all that put me off. Actually, I felt a little bit bad about it. I feel a little bit bad about admitting it, because I know that I should be empathetic with her and think that, you know, have warmer emotions than those I'm admitting here. But it was just kind of the fact, and I use this as an experience to realize that I do have some prejudices towards crying in the public room. And I probably, when it comes down to it, think, and that's the way I've been also brought up, that crying is okay, but do it when you're alone. Do it quietly. And I noticed then when my daughter, she was crying and screaming in a public place, I said, it's okay to be sad, but do it without the sound, because other people don't need to hear it. And I'm just wondering now that I have the luxury of talking to an expert about these kind of topics. What are your thoughts around those kind of things?
We're gonna have a serious talk, Martin. You know, crying, laughing, and being angry is just releasing. And I really believe that it helps you balance your body. But if you learn, I learned as a child as well that, you know, boys don't cry. It took me many years to learn crying, and I'm really grateful for that I can cry today. But it also kept me from being balanced for many years, because it's kind of not recognizing that I'm really sad. So actually, you know, scientists found that, you know, if you have grief, if you have real sadness, crying can really relieve grief. You cannot just sit around with it. Sometimes you really need to cry, and this is a part of a healing process. So and it's actually the same with laughing. It's a healing process. So you can see. Let's just say that we worked together, Martin, and we had a tense relation. And one day we were put in a situation where we could laugh together. It's like our relation would heal. And it's the same with crying, but most it's very personal, because, you know, no one has your feelings or your daughter's feelings. But crying is just releasing, you know, a painful story that got stuck in the body. And it's typical in the Western world that we learned, don't cry too loud, don't be angry too loud, and don't laugh too loud. But this is the body rebalancing. So it's really wrong, and you should never tell your daughter not to cry. Never. She should be allowed to cry. So yeah. So it's just because if you can't be authentic in that moment, you keep the stress in the body. But if you're authentic, you can really release it, and then you're free. And that's probably what we are all looking for, to feel free. And but we are learned, and you were probably learned by your parents as well as I were by mine. You know, don't be too loud. And it's actually it's many children are brought up like that. And of course we should know, not cry and scream like crazy, but it's also important just to feel free to let it out.
It's a very good
I
point.
understand there's a balance, but if you learn to hold it back, the bad feeling gets stuck in your body.
Yeah.
So somehow you should be allowed. Of course not. I could understand if your daughter was screaming constantly for 2 hours. It's okay to say stop. But if it's just 5 minutes, just let it go, and then it's out.
Yeah, that's actually a very good thing to remember sometimes, to let it out.
Yeah, let it out.
We do tend to forget that.
Yeah.
But Thomas, I look very much forward to reading your book, Happy Lemons.
Thank you.
And it was a lot of fun to get an insight into the world of laughter and what happens when you laugh.
Yes.
So thank you so much for participating.
Very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.